I'm 6'3", 105 kilograms. On the BMI scale, I come up as overweight. I'm not overweight, and I know I'm not overweight, obviously.
Let's talk about something else.
Hey there, welcome back to another of my YouTube videos. In this video specifically, I go through Reddit questions which are fitness related. For those who are new, my name is Murphy. I am a personal trainer, and in these type of videos, I break down questions which are commonly asked by people who are looking to go into the fitness space, or people who are already in the fitness space. If you would like your questions answered, leave them in the comments below, and I will try to get to them in the next Reddit question video. Let me go ahead and tackle the first question. How to get strong as possible while following a bodybuilding program. I train in the 3 to 5 rep range, but I don't feel like I'm getting much stronger. I can see that I have put on muscle, but my lifts don't go up much. I usually progress 1 rep a week or so. Now, bodybuilding and strength training are both different styles when it comes to rep range and intensity training in your programs. In bodybuilding, you would most likely go through a high rep range of around 12 to 25 repetitions, whilst in strength training, you would probably touch on 1 rep to 5 to 8 repetitions. Now, depending on which one you're trying to pursue, strength or bodybuilding, it would be beneficial if you were to touch on both rep ranges, because inevitably they will all aid you to get to your ultimate goal. Now, this individual said he has noticed that he's put on muscle, but he just doesn't see his lifts going up. So one thing I would probably float into it would be, are you progressing in the intensity level that you're going through? So in terms of tempo, so how much duration of time are you placing your muscles through as you do the rep ranges? Because I am noticing that your progression is only through rep ranges. So are you progressively overloading through increasing the weight, or is it just through repetitions? So I would throw in the idea of maybe taking yourself through a slower range of motion, or make the range of motions more explosive. So basically moving the weight as fast as possible through each rep range. And another would be, it wouldn't hurt to just increase the weight by 1.25 every 2 to 3 sessions. Next question. Is a 4-second eccentric excessive if I train in a 10 to 12 rep range strictly for hypertrophy? If I speed up while still maintaining good form, I can load more weight. Now, he's basically saying 4 seconds on the lengthening portion of your movement. So let's say you're doing a bench pressing and you're pushing up, that's the concentric. The eccentric is when it's coming back in and your muscle fibers are stretching. So that's what he's initially saying. He's trying to ask, can he go for 4 seconds for 10 to 12 repetitions? Now, those rep ranges are perfectly fine for him to go through 4 seconds, because it shouldn't take too long to finish a set. If he had more repetitions in the tank to do and he was carrying them out in 4 seconds, then it might be questionable. It could start to float through the range of muscular endurance as opposed to actual hypertrophy. But I think this is completely fine. Take yourself through those tempo speeds, those are fine. One good tempo speed I've heard, which is strict, is 4-2-2. 4 seconds eccentrics, 2-second pause, and then 2 seconds concentric. Just remember to keep yourself safe. Just make sure you maintain a good range of motion and good adequate technique. Next question. Overhead tricep extension exercises. He puts in brackets, both dumbbell and cable, close brackets. Feel very bad on my wrists. If I keep doing them, will my wrist eventually grow stronger, just like any other muscle? Or do I risk seriously injuring my wrist and I should just do other exercises instead? Oh, the age-old question. Wrist pain. Is it okay? I myself have my own fair share of clients who go through wrist pains, and through that we need to go through some strengthening work or warm-up drills that will just help in terms of building strength or just maintain the strength around that area and joint. Now, as you lift weights and place your wrist through challenging forces, it should naturally adapt and get stronger. However, if it is always feeling strained in particular movements, then you may just be carrying out those movements wrong, or you have a deeper rooted issue with your wrist. So specifically, let's say he said he notices the wrist pain when he's doing dumbbell exercises. So I'm going to assume he's doing dumbbell presses, right? So when you do a dumbbell press, if your wrist is like this as you're pressing, you're just placing more strain on the tendon. If it's more in that neutral position right here, then at least you give the wrist a more stable position, as well as the bones can help to maintain most of that force that goes through. And you allow the muscles to help do what the muscles are supposed to do. So for the most part, I would assume that this is a form related issue. Unless outside of this he just always has wrist pain, then I think it's a deep rooted issue, so you should get it checked out. If not, just change your form. Make sure everything is in a neutral position and you're not too excessive in this position, which is natural if you're doing certain movements that don't require too much load through that position. But when you're lifting weight and you're in that position like this or that, it just places too much strain on your ligaments and tendons. How fit slash I can't read. How fit slash muscular do you have to be for it to throw off your BMI? I know they say athletes sometimes rate as overweight on the basis of the BMI when they're really fine, thanks to muscle mass. But how much muscle do you need for that to start to be a thing? Is that a recreational lifter after a year in the gym, or are we talking about John Cena? I would keep it real. I think I would say this can be applied for almost anyone. I think the best basis to check out your health is most likely going to be through body fat to muscle mass ratio. But if we're going to keep it simple, I would say someone, for his question, someone who is well vetted in the gym. So someone who's probably been in the gym for maybe over 2 years at this point. But I'm just throwing random numbers. But I think BMI should not even be a thing. I think they just use it on the basis of just selecting the average person, because the average person doesn't work out. They probably just go out for walks or they go home, go to work, come back, and that's it. So they base it off of the average population. So averagely, people don't work out or don't actively choose to lift weights. I myself, I'm 6'3". I'm 105 kilograms. On the BMI scale, I come up as overweight. I'm not overweight, and I know I'm not overweight, obviously. But the thing is, when it comes to the medical field basis, they have to base it off of the average person because they have to keep it simple. This is something I tend to go through with clients when it comes to first introduction is don't look at the numbers, look at your composition, how you feel, how much energy you have. And sometimes you can just look at your body as well, how you're looking from time to time. Your composition changes regardless. Even let's say they don't change their diet, their composition will change as they lift weights and train. You always want to look to have a good muscle to fat ratio, not only for strength, but your health and longevity. Well, that's it for this Reddit question video. I hope you guys liked and appreciated the way I answered certain questions. If you have yours, like I said, leave it in the comments below, and I will try to get to it in the next one. And until then, I will see you guys when I see you guys. Peace. I always seem to forget thumbnails. I always seem to forget the thumbnails and these things. I'm 6'3".